through it. Now you have famously attended Roma Girls Secondary School.
I did.
Anybody now that's of note that you see that you remember that you went to school with now?
A lot. I mean,
just give me two names.
Dambisa Moyo.
You went to school with her?
Yeah. Same
amazing
class, yeah.
Really?
Dambisa Moyo and many, because there are many, right?
And she wrote that famous book called Dead End.
Yeah, she did.
Did you speak to her often?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was her birthday last week. We always say
amazing.
happy birthday. And maybe we have a judge as well, Judge Yangulube.
Interesting.
Yeah, Petronella. So I mean, we have like loads of people. There's a Dr. Cheswa, who's a good friend of mine as well. Yeah, but there are many like ambassadors, Ambassador Isabel.
Fantastic. So tell me, as a Roma Girl student, were you a high achiever as a young girl at Roma? Would you say that you scored high in terms of your grades?
I would say I was. I was quite average actually. I was just passing. I was passing.
Right.
I wouldn't say I was always first in class, but I was passing to go to the next grade, right? And the next grade and finish. Yeah.
So you graduated from Roma, then you went to Unza, got your first degree.
No, I didn't. I went to nursing.
Sorry, you did nursing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, so so I did nursing. Yeah.
Is it?
So I went to nursing and I did that for a bit.
Amazing.
And look, I mean, I can write a whole book. So I think the 20 minutes we have won't even be enough. But yeah, so I went to nursing, and from nursing, then I started working for Zanaco. Then I went to the UK to
Reading, University of Reading.
To study banking. No, to Citibank.
Citibank, right.
Citibanking, yeah.
Okay.
So to study banking. So then I studied banking, and then I came back.
Interesting.
To work for Standard Chartered.
So now tell me, at that stage when you were in university, what were you envisioning for your life? What were you thinking at that time? What were you dreaming of becoming?
And look, I mean, when I was young, I was always dreaming of becoming a bank teller, actually, just because my dad, I always used to escort my dad to the bank. I was, last born in the family, and I would always, go with him everywhere and to the bank. And I would always admire these beautiful tellers who are so eloquently dressed. And I'm saying, one day, just one day, I'm going to be behind the counter and be a teller. I've never made it to be a teller, actually, so yeah.
Well, you went all the way to the top is what you did.
I know, and I thank God for that, but that's what I always want. I always saw myself in the banking sector. But then at some point, I went to nursing with my friends, and I didn't make it there, so
Interesting.
Yeah, and the rest is history.
And then you did a stint at Standard Chartered Bank. Now, while working at Standard Chartered Bank, you worked in several different countries. You went to South Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, even in the U.S.
Yeah.
My question is this. While working in these other countries, was there ever a time you felt, you know what, I don't want to be in this country?
You know what, there was always, even when I went to the UK to study my banking degree, I was very clear that I should come back home. And immediately I graduated, my parents and my brother, who was sponsoring me, just said, you know what, you need to go back home. You're not going to stay here and do these odd jobs. So I think what was very clear is that it's good to, I wouldn't criticize any country because I've had a lovely time and experience in the different countries. But if you have to go to the different countries, you must go there for a real job. That's always my take. Don't go there. I did work in McDonald's, so that's fine.
Did you really?
Yeah, so you shouldn't go there and just work in McDonald's, but I did as a student.
Amazing.
You do those part-time things. Yeah. And I came back. So for me, it's always not so much that I didn't want to stay there, but it's more, I've always been a truly Zambian girl who wants to come back home.
So now, after that, you became the CEO of Barclays Bank.
I know, of Standard Chartered.
Of Standard Chartered.
Yeah.
In a male-dominated sector.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel intimidated as a woman?
No, you know what? I've never been, maybe because I've grown up I come from a very, very large family. And my family is so big that it's got a lot of male as well. So for me, it was always, my dad always taught me to be assertive and you can do what they can do, just work hard. And I've always believed in that. So I've never really felt, like intimidated. I've always felt, if they can do it, I can do it. We're all human, right? So for me, it's a human thing, more than one is male, one is female. But of course, you always have to work harder sometimes. You always have to fight your way. And there are times when I've had to do that. But I just look at it as a challenge takes me to the next stage. Yeah.
Tell me, how do you handle pressure? Because, I'd imagine this job, this mantle that you carry, I'd imagine it comes with a lot of pressure. How do you handle pressure?
Look, if you look at the transition we have been going through, changing from Barclays to ABSA, and today being our historic day, 10th February, we're finally called ABSA, there's been a lot of pressure that's gone with it. But for me, it's about having the right team around me. I always make sure that I have good people who know exactly what they're doing around me. Because when you have good people who know what they're doing, number one, they're able to give you the right advice, and you have to listen to them. You have to have that listening ear that they're saying maybe not this, maybe not that. And there are times when you kind of feel I don't think you're right, but then you also know that they're experts in their own right. So I handle pressure by making sure that I have the right people around me, because then I just know that number one, they're also growing in their careers. So when they're growing in their careers, what they're looking for is to be empowered. If they're looking to be empowered, you've got to give them that space. And when you give them that space and say you can do it, then that relieves the pressure off you, because you're not alone. I'm managing such a big bank, but I'm not alone. So that's how I handle pressure. I just have the right people around me, and just create an environment where you can work well together. Doesn't always work, but 9 out of 10, if it works like it does for me, then great.
So tell me, I have to tell you this, one of your team members said to me, I won't tell you who, said to me about you, Mizinga is a results-oriented person. My question is this: is it possible to be nice and friendly, but still demand and get the results that you want?
You know what? I am results-oriented, and whoever said that to you is on point. And it's about bringing your whole self. So the way I am at work is really the way I am at home, and it's about it's about doing what you love. When you do what you love, I wouldn't say it's quite easy to achieve results, but it's easier because you do what you love. Sometimes like when I'm working, I have to remind myself that, I'm actually at work, because I just love being with people. I love being with my clients. I love being with my regulators. I love talking to you. It works, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, and I love that. So when you love what you do, it's easier to achieve results. When you surround yourself with good people, love what you do, and bring your whole self, because you can't just say, I've got the right people, so for me, then I'm going to go and sleep. No, you also have to show that you're doing your best. And people have to know that, look, when Mizinga is doing that, she'll do her best. She'll put in her best shot. Then, I'm at the office every day, by 7:15, 7:30 latest. I've got to be here. So I can't say, everybody come early and then, I'm like, one of some of those MDs who, just because I'm MD, then I can come to work at night. I can't deal with that.
Interesting. So tell us about now this reason why we're here. Tell us about this ABSA deal.
Okay.
From a layperson's point of view, is ABSA, are you upgrading, downgrading, or are you maintaining the status quo?
So, we changed, in about 2017, Barclays announced that they were deconsolidating. And I'm saying this for the viewers, you might not be aware of the history. They announced that they were deconsolidating, and that meant, and they had their own business reasons why they were doing that. Do you mind if I just...
Sure, no, go ahead. Okay. This is live TV, anything happens on live television.
My boss's office, so they'll pick it up.
No problem.
Yeah. So, in 2017, they announced that they were going to deconsolidate. They had their own good reasons why they were going to do that. So, based on that, we then decided, and deconsolidate doesn't mean leave Africa. They were going to deconsolidate from being 66% shareholders to 14.9% shareholders. So now they're still very much a big minority. Like they're one of the biggest minorities that we have. We only have two minorities. So we then, to cut this long story short, we said, okay, fine. In 2018, what name were we going to be called? We went around the continent, saw about 130,000 people who agreed that the best brand for you guys to be was ABSA, because we already had an existing ABSA brand. So because we had an existing ABSA brand, it made sense for us to be. But it wasn't going to be the same ABSA, but it was going to be a different ABSA. And so now the journey continues, but there were three factors that are going to answer the question, what do we become? I think firstly, we upgraded our technology. Barclays had underinvested on the continent because we were big. However, for ABSA, Africa means a lot. So we have invested heavily, over 100 million kwacha, just in upgrading our technology. So in doing that, the service the customers are going to get is excellent because we've upgraded our systems. So I think that's one. And today, as we speak, we're launching a vertical card, and the card is a tap and go. You kind of go in anymore. You don't have to say, oh, what's your PIN and all that. You just tap and you go. So,
Okay.
So those are some of the products.
Is that the card you're holding on your
WhatsApp profile? Yeah.
Really?
So it's a vertical card, and even the way it's positioned, it's vertical. Mm-hmm. So like if you get any other card, if I just give you an example,
it's landscape.
It's landscape. But this one is vertical, right? I need it to be vertical so I can show you. So it's vertical. So if it's vertical, when you go to the ATM, you do that. And when you go in the shop, you just tap and you go. Like, tap and go. Just make sure your son doesn't get hold of it. Tap and go. So definitely my son. So anyway, so that's
the second one. The third one.
So that was that, and then we're going to upgrade our brand. We're going to change our brand, which was the ABSA brand. I think that was second one in terms of, but what's in the brand? It's bringing your possibilities to life. It's making sure that amidst the challenges we face on the continent, we're going to be brave, passionate, and be ready to do business with yourself. So if you take energy, we have power shortages in Zambia. Even if we do, let's look for the solar companies to support us in this space, and we should finance them. So if you're an SME, come to the bank. You do business without us asking you for collateral. So those are some of the, if you are a man on the, who's looking for a small loan, just dial *303, and we've got a partnership with MTN. You can borrow money in Congola. So our brand has improved greatly. Who we are because of the investment we have put. Please take a look at some of our branches. All our branches, we have upgraded them. I think we have 1 or 2 left because, we can do that up to June 2020. But a number of them, they look amazing. They bring, it's not about red, but it's about the vibrancy of the colors that they bring. So that's ABSA.
Fantastic. Mizinga, thank you so much for your time. Before I let you go, though, I cannot go without mentioning the fact, because it's visible. You're looking well, because I see you running. You're into this working out and running. Yeah. You look absolutely fabulous.
Thank you so much.
My question is, you're the MD. Where do you how do you squeeze the time to work out and take care of yourself? Because visibly you are taking care of yourself.
Thank you so much. So, when everybody else is sleeping, I wake up and run. So I start at 5:30 in the morning, and I finish by 7. I would have done my 10Ks. Wow. Yeah, so you do 10 kilometers? Yeah, I do.
How many times a week?
Once a week, 10 kilometers. Yeah. And then in the week, I do core exercise and strength, because you have to, and I do that with my friends. We've got like a group. So we don't meet, but we meet on WhatsApp. So we do different exercises. So I have to last week I skipped 500 times a day for 5 days.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it shows.
Thank you.
It really does.
Thank you so much.
Mizinga, thank you so much for your time. And thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Say bye to the Facebook people.
Bye. Love you guys.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Love you guys.